I'm going to try something a little different today. I want to do a little chill and chat, hang out. I think trying to exercise on a Sunday when I'm doing 2.5 hours of dancing with Dex group is probably not going to work out, at least not consistently. So I'm going to look at switching to doing an extra workout on Tuesdays and doing this on Sundays. That way we'll keep our number of exercises and our number of streams fairly consistent. Hopefully it will go up, but we'll kind of have to see how that goes. I'm still getting myself kind of set up here, so we'll just hang out for a bit. Then I'll do the first ad, then we'll just fish and hang out. How does that sound? So kind of more in line with the kind of streaming I used to do, where I was playing a game while streaming and just kind of talking to people. I would love to get back to doing something like that, but I think this is going to be easier in the short term to sort of keep consistent. And if I can manage that, then we'll kind of branch out and see what would be possible going forward. But yeah, for now, I figure keep it simple. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, go ahead and run a quick ad. And I'll only do this for about 45 minutes, so we're not going to be like super, hanging out for a long time. We'll just go until 2 o'clock and then go with the rest of our days. We'll just figure check in, hang out a little bit, do a little bit of Sunday engaging, and we can talk, see if anything interesting comes up, any interesting conversation or questions or whatever, really. Just kind of let things go and see what happens. Catch some fish and just chill on a Sunday afternoon or evening or morning or whenever it happens to be for you. We'll go ahead and run the first ad. We'll be back in 90 seconds while I do some pottery things in this world, and we'll be right back. Oh, and in the meantime, I should put my chats up in front of me. Okay, there we go. Harvest our flowers. Oh no, these were the quick ones, not the long ones. Oh no. Well, I'll do the quick ones again since we're here. We'll do the long ones at the end. Trick to watering 2 at once. I'm not doing it very well this time. There we go. We refill our water. It looks like it's keeping kind of to a certain angle. It's not getting in front of me like I thought it might. Maybe it's me. Yeah, I'm turning. That's the problem. Okay. There we go. Gotta try to remember to bring this back. Try, of course, being the operative word. And we've made it to our fishing spot. If I can get down, will it get down with me? Probably not. Now I'm gonna have to adjust the camera again. I'll go right there, that works. Oops. And get the nice water sounds. Probably should adjust these too. Gonna have a lot to look at here. There we go. Got our bucket. Get our fishing pole. Whoops. Gotta be careful not to touch OVR while trying to interact with the fishing pole. We did a lot of dancing today. I'm still not quite getting to where I'm got the energy that I had before. I feel like I'm still running out of juice kind of towards the last half hour. And it's been about the same whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Well, like I'll start with modern workout and then do an hour and a half of dancing. That last half hour is pretty brutal. And then when I do the deck session where we dance for 2.5 hours, same deal, like that last half hour is pretty brutal. But I want to try to get to where I'm all ready for Marshall-thon and for Yui's 12-hour dance session. That's going to be happening this not this weekend, but at the end of this month. And I found out today that this is going to coincide with Dance Week. So I'll be able to do that. Hit up Dance Week each night. And then at the end, do the marathon, the 12-hour session with Yui, or at least as much of it as I can. I know my goal this year has been to beat my record for last year at Marshall-thon, which was 7.5 hours of dancing. I'll have to see what... I want to keep that open so I know when I can turn in. I'll have to check and see, like, if how I'm feeling during Dance Week to see if I want to try to push that for a Yui session or not. I figure, like, I'll do like last time, and well, rather, I'm not going to do like last time where I try to just go through and then completely run out of gas and then just be dead. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to schedule around meal times, and so I'll be like, it starts at 7 a.m. Eastern, which is 5 a.m. for me. Unless I'm misremembering, it might be 7 a.m. for me. But either way, I'll go until my 9 a.m. and then stop, eat, rest for a bit, and then get back on. Do the same thing, go for a few more hours, stop, get food, rest a bit, and then for the last segment, just try to go to the end. And I figure that will probably add up to about, let's see, it goes for 12 hours. Maybe about 7 or 8 hours, ideally. And that's pretty good. And hopefully it's going to stagger with other people who do the marathon with him. So he'll get the chance to dance with different people and also have someone with him at all times. What I really don't want to happen is like have points where Yui's dancing alone. This was something that really concerned me during his last marathon, or his last charity session, where he was going for multiple days over the course of a week. There were definitely long stretches of time where he was dancing by himself, and I was watching him on stream, but like, it wasn't the kind of thing I could really do anything with. So, get some uncommons today. Oh, Dorp has joined. Oops. There we go. So, hopefully with my staggering around meal times, which for me are going to be a little on the early side or late side by US Eastern, and won't really line up with anyone else, I don't think. So hopefully we'll get a scenario where we're all breaking at the same time or something. But yeah, in addition to, doing dancing for charity. We'll also be sort of getting ready for Marshall-thon, which is also a nice charity. Hey, Rare! A nice charitable cause that we'll be dancing for. And we have a new record, 222.26. But aside from that, I was talking with Ellie, aka Silent, one of the heads of VR Dancing, and we might try to coordinate our streams on Tuesdays and stream together in a sense. I think that would be fun. It's what's been happening lately for the Thursday streams with Frisch. It's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying that, and I think it's sort of reinforced or reinvigorated my desire to do more collaboration with other streamers and with other dance groups. And I know I've moved my schedule to allow for more engagement with other groups, but this has definitely been kind of an extension of that, and it's been really validating to have not only like people willing to, or people like working with me so that I can move my schedules around, but them actually looking at moving their schedules around for me. In fact, I had a conversation with Bimler recently who was talking about changing his karaoke schedule to not be at the same time as mine. So that would actually be really cool. That way, like his group can join me, and I can conceivably join him. That would be a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of more karaoke. Dorp. My camera's just over there. You can be in the shot or out of the shot. It's completely up to you. We're just hanging out. Nothing too crazy. If you want to talk to me, we'll talk. If you want to just sit there and fish, well, you can do that. There's no rules. We're just kind of figuring out what we want to do here. And that applies to anyone else. If anyone out there is watching and wants to join in, I'm in a Friends Plus world. We're just sitting here fishing, so feel free to drop by and just hang out with us. In fact, I hope that this could eventually turn into a big group hangout for a little while on a Sunday afternoon. Well, at least for me. Yours is, it's actually probably close to midnight now for you. So Sunday night, the last night before back to the work week. Blah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's actually, we're starting to come along between making affiliate and having these things happen. It's been really nice to sort of like think about, well, making the things that I've been wanting to make work, when like having to deal with the setback of not being able to start my my fitness trainer coursework yet, and when that's going to be happening, I don't know the answer to that. So hopefully still this year. But I would like to say, well, I was saying July, but it's July now, and it's not looking like it's going to happen. So maybe November? Oh, it's so late. The year's almost over. I think that will still allow me to look at getting some kind of apprenticeship going next year. It'll just be later in the year, so that would push back, like, potentially, starting a more degree coursework potentially down the line also. But, it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of trying to make things happen as we can. So people who've been kind of with me from the beginning and wondering, it's like, well, when are you going to lead your own courses? Or when are we going to get to where, like, it's more you and less, like, other videos? Because I know I've been saying that is the intent, and it still is. It just got pushed back a little bit because of, setbacks. But I'm hoping still to get that going, just maybe take a little bit longer to get that on the road. But aside from that, there's something that could be happening next week, and I say could be happening because it's really the dumbest thing. My passport expired last month, and I waited too long to get it renewed so that it would be ready for a potential trip next week. So I made a plan to get a travel ID instead as like a temporary measure before getting my passport renewed when I get back. But I waited a lot too long for that too. So I did it, but I did it on Thursday of last week when I'm planning to fly out this coming Wednesday. So what they did was they gave me a temporary travel ID. It's official. It's from their DMV. It's just a piece of paper instead of a card. So I don't know if the TSA is gonna like be cool with that or not. They should, but you never know, especially in today's world. So I'm gonna take the piece of paper. I'm gonna take my birth certificate and my other ID forms with me, and hopefully, they'll let me take my flight. But if so, then that will mean that from Wednesday to Sunday of next week, I will be out of town. So if I do stream, and I'm not going to say I'm not going to stream, I'm just going to say if I do stream, it will be a different format. It won't be online. I'm probably going to try and do like I did the last time I was out of town and try to actually record myself or like shoot myself doing a workout or a dance routine or like a series of dance videos, doing normal stream stuff. But, obviously that's going to be TBD. So, I mean, obviously if I'm not able to fly out and I have to make other arrangements, that's going to change things. Or, if for whatever reason I don't have the time or I don't really have the space to do anything, that's going to make a difference. But, we'll figure it out. And if nothing else, we will be back the following week. That will be, I think, Sunday the 8th. Today is the 13th. So it'll be Sunday the 20th when I'll be coming back. So for sure, like Tuesday the 22nd, if I've got my math right, we'll be back to streaming normally, at least for the foreseeable future. Until mid-October, which I guess is not foreseeable. Until mid-October, we'll be looking at a relatively normal stream schedule. Oops, didn't grab that. Right. So that's next week. Actually, I kind of like this. I like this format. We can kind of plan ahead. So another thought is, what is this going to mean for classic workout? I honestly don't know the answer to that right now. I was thinking if we're going to do stuff on Tuesdays, it was either going to be more like dance focused if I end up streaming with Ellie, or it'll be more Zumba focused if I'm doing something on my own. And that, I could do like Zumba / jazzercise and sometimes work in some of the older stuff. And so it will feel a little bit more like classic workout. And maybe I'll just say that Saturdays, instead of being a modern workout day, is going to be more of a like anaerobic day, which kind of fits in. I've been feeling like I've been favoring the more anaerobic stuff on Saturdays because like I know I'm going to be dancing for an hour and a half right after. But then again, with what's been happening in deck sessions, it may not make a difference whether I'm doing cardio or strength training. I'm still pretty dead at the end of the dance session, so it doesn't seem to be helping. I guess the only real difference is like I can say that instead of doing mainly cardio and not much else, I'm at least focusing a little bit on strength training during the week. So I might say, like, instead of calling Saturdays modern workout, we'll just say that's some more of an anaerobic day, whereas the other days are more like cardio focused. And well, even Thursdays kind of have that feel because we're stretching a lot of the time. Like we're doing our warm-ups, but we're also stretching, which, as we've been talking about during those sessions, that's also quite anaerobic in nature, where we're more we're working our muscles so that they can stretch, and that's very, very related to is that mine or is that? Oh, I think it is mine. There we go. That is very, very related to the kinds of things I'm talking about. Oh, tiny little fishy. Look at that. So I think that might actually stay the format. And my only regret there is it means I'm not personally streaming as much dancing. Well, I don't know. I guess if we work this out, like we say, Mondays we don't stream. Tuesdays we stream in tandem with Ellie, which is going to be dancing, or not in tandem with Ellie. It's going to be some kind of Zumba, which that will be cardio. Zumba or jazzercise, another tiny fish. And then Wednesdays we don't stream, at least right now. I'm thinking of doing like alternating Wednesdays and Saturdays depending on what the Arizona clock is. But for now, we're not streaming on Wednesdays. Thursdays is warm up and stretch, so we do a little cardio, a little stretching, and then dancing. But that's still streamed by me. Frisch doesn't have a separate channel. And then we do Fridays, which is all dancing, and then karaoke. Yeah, I think it balances out, honestly. The only downside is, like, we don't stream what VRD does, obviously. But I do raid them, because it goes right after me. So if one wanted to see more of me dancing, or more, like, dance-led activity on my channel, then you just kind of hang out. And I would honestly keep what VRD does on the schedule, so that, you know, kind of plan for it. And I mean, that's sort of what I've been doing. Like, I do my cardio and I do my non-cardio when I'm not dancing. And that's kind of what we settled into the last few weeks. And I think we'll probably continue to do that. So if this works out, I'm going to rebrand Saturdays from modern workouts to, I guess I could call it strength training, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll think of a good name for it. That's not, you know, because that's not like modern. Because we're no longer going to be worried about the timing component. Like, we're doing newer stuff and older stuff, as long as it's more anaerobic in nature. And eventually, it's going to get to where I'm leaving those anyway. So, yeah, kind of what we've been doing from the beginning here is, ooh, that's a big one. We've been doing from the beginning is kind of keeping in mind that stuff's going to change, and now is no different. We're just sort of kind of blindly feeling our way through what this process is going to look like, and yeah, it's just another extension of that. But enough about stream and scheduling. I'm sure that's so terribly interesting. Why don't we have a discussion on something more relaxing? Anybody see that? Dorf, are you interested at all in seeing the new Superman movie? That's now out this weekend. Yeah, me too. I've heard a lot of things. That Superman is hopeful and optimistic, and it's very, like, light in tone, which I'm very excited to hear. I think we've gotten so many recent Supermans that were very dark and gritty and, like, sort of trying to almost deconstruct. And it's not even just Superman. Like, we just watched Invincible recently, and I feel like that's a very, like, deconstructed take on the Superman story. Not to say that it's bad. It's actually really great, but, you know, it's not exactly, like, bright and hopeful and optimistic about, like, the character or a character like Superman, like a Superman in the, you know, in the common sense, like small s super spaceman. So for Superman to go back to being like a Christopher Reeve style, positive, hopeful, you know, depiction of Superman, I'm excited to see in theaters again. And I've liked James Gunn's other recent movies, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. We were actually talking about seeing it in Houston together. Oh, I had a fish and I let go. But that's not necessarily a sure thing. So maybe I'll go. Have some of my friends who I'm growing very close to, Mayo and Ellie, are going to see it today. I thought maybe I'd go today. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go run some errands after we finish up here in the next 15 or so minutes. I'm actually kind of amazed I haven't finished my dailies yet. This is kind of wild. I mean, I had it resolved to fish here until 2 o'clock. So I'm here for 25 more minutes no matter what, but I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, I just haven't caught any more big fish since that one rare one that I got earlier. But yeah, Superman. I saw another article recently. Well, it wasn't an article, it was more of a showcase. Upload VR is a web publication that features VR gaming and other like articles that are VR related, but they partnered with IGN to do a showcase of new stuff that's happening, you know, this year. This is kind of around the same vein as like Summer Games Fest and some of the bigger events that are happening in the video game sphere. But I listened to it, and unfortunately I was at work at the time, so I couldn't really watch it per se, but I had it on in the background. And it's funny, like a lot of the games, it's just like the big AAA trade shows where like it's a shooter, it's a horror game, you know, or it's a curious indie puzzle game, which I mean that's all great and all, but like there's usually one or two things though that will jump out at me among that, you know, category. And this time for me it was a game called Matchpoint Tennis VR, which is apparently a live service that you just go and play tennis, and it's on Meta, and apparently they try to keep like realistic physics. I'd never heard of it, but I went looking for reviews just to see what people were thinking about it, because apparently it's been going for a while, and no one's really had much to say about it. So I mean, I don't know. I used to play tennis when I was younger, so I do know, like, you know, I do have an interest in it. I used to watch the majors back when I had cable. So that was interesting. I mean, I haven't really done it lately. It just hasn't really, you know, been a priority. And I don't have cable now, so just, you know, I'm not. There's no way for me to easily do it. Man, they don't make watching sporting events easy online. Like, even if you go to the website, they're like, all right, enter your cable provider. I'm like, oh, I don't have cable. They're like, then you can't watch this live stream. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not watching this event. But I'm still interested in the sport, and I would like to see a nice VR tennis game. So far, the closest thing to scratching that itch is a table tennis game called 11 Table Tennis, and it's so that's probably the closest thing we've got right now. But I haven't really been paying attention to VR gaming, so I'm interested in kind of seeing more of what goes on there. But there's that, and there's another game that interested me that's coming out of early access. They did their 1.0 update called Point Blank. As y'all know, or I may or may not know, I'm a child of the 90s, and there was this light gun arcade game called wait, did I call this game Point Blank? The arcade... Ooh, this one's probably big enough. The arcade game was called Point Blank. I think... Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. It's a similar sounding name, and it's a similar game, except it's in VR. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I'm going to have to look at my email to see, because I know I just got the email saying it's out of early access. On Point. So Point Blank is the old arcade game. On Point is the new VR game that has now come out of early access and is available to play. Well, it was always available, but now I got its 1.0 release. So that's fun. So those are the two games that interested me right now in the VR scene. And a lot of people were pretty disappointed. It's unfortunate, but you know, the way of things right now is that there's just not a lot available for VR. And it's like one of those catch-22s. It's like you want to get like big studios to do VR stuff, but then they've got to see the audience, but they'll bring the audience. So you occasionally will see a big studio take a chance and try to oh good, I was afraid the boot would beat my record. It almost did, but it didn't, thankfully. You want to try to encourage the big studios anytime they do take a chance on VR. So I picked up the last Arkham game, even though I haven't played it. So good, more of this please. And I picked up Triangle Strategy when they did the meta version, and I planned on looking at Civilization 7 since it got its VR version. I am sad that these are all meta exclusives. I wish they came to PC VR or PlayStation VR as well, just so we have like more multi-platform support. It seems like standalone is the beginning and the end for what's supported right now. Which, it's good and it's bad. It's like, it's good because it's very accessible. Anybody can go get a Quest 3S and jump right in. This is in the US, of course. But, there's other standalone options that are around. Like, it seems like it's become a very large part of the VR landscape right now. But you're not going to, someone who likes to play flat games and really likes good graphics, they're not going to be blown away by what the Snapdragon SR2 second gen is putting out as far as like processing capabilities. That's where PC VR can fill the gap conceivably. But if all the focus is going to be on standalone, then there's not much room for PC VR. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick ad break so we don't get interrupted. And then we'll stick to this for another 15 or so minutes. And then we'll call it a stream. Hopefully y'all had fun with this. I've had an interesting experience with this, even though like, there really wasn't much like in the way of man, this is a fighter. Ooh, come on. What did I get? Just a regular fish? I wonder why it was so tough. Oh, it was an uncommon fish, but yeah, it's not really too crazy. Okay, anyway, we'll be back in 90 seconds. So see y'all then. Doing alright, Dart?
Yep.
Okay.
There's,
I've just kind of been... Oh, hey, look at that. I've just kind of been, like, yammering. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just, I just want to make sure I'm not pressuring you, like, to feel like you have to talk.
It's fair.
Fish indeed. Yeah, welcome back. We're going to be sticking around for the next 15 or so minutes just fishing. There's a thing over there that I'm going to try and take advantage of. It's like off to the side. It's a boost point where the fish will bite a lot more frequently than normal. Whoa! What is this? This is a super rare. I don't get too many of those. Yeah, new high score. Super rare trout. I don't think I've caught that yet. Very nice. Yeah, let's fish out of there some more. But in addition to VR gaming, I'm also a big fan of fighting games. And what's coming up next month is Evo. That's right. I was thinking about maybe going this year, but I didn't really make the cut this time. I do still plan on going one of these years to Vegas during Evo, and if not, participate in one of the tournaments just to go and be a part of everything, be a part of the excitement and the energy. But I will certainly be hanging out in VR while we watch the live stream and cheering, getting excited by the hype moments. Like last year, when we had that moment where the 40-year-old, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the grappler character from Street Fighter 3, like had that upset win against the Ken player. Hugo, the Hugo player. Yeah, that's the fun thing about VR. Like I can't say I love fishing because I don't, but the idea of fishing appeals to me. And then this really scratches this world really scratches that itch well. I enjoy it quite a lot. Just to kind of hang out and chill. So that's why I wanted to do, if I was gonna just sit and chat, that it would be here with the water sounds and the fish. This gummy candy. and hopefully, and you know, some good friends, some good conversations. I think I'm gonna continue to do this each week. Right now, this is literally the first one, so you know, people aren't used to, not used to being live at this time. But normally I do on-stream dancing and working out. So if you ever feel inclined during the week or on the weekend, that's what I do. This is sort of a new thing. It's going to be kind of an end of the week chill. Oh, got another uncommon. Man, this has been a nice one for me. Atlantic cod. Is it still live? It looks like it's gone now. Okay, we'll be casting normally again. Trying to think if there's anything else and noteworthy that's happening. How preferably this week. We want to have stuff to talk about in the coming weeks too. Still playing Rune Factory. Dorp and I actually, he's gotten me talking about Final Fantasy. He doesn't know, like, not really familiar with it. And he was asking me about it. He's like, you like Final Fantasy, right? Well, what is it? And that's a big question to answer. If you look back at my history on Twitch and on YouTube, you'll see I did quite a bit of streaming when the Pixel Remaster came out and played through some of the games. But so far we've talked about the first 5. So just kind of getting into it, yeah. And it's kind of made me want to go back and finish 4, because I never did finish it, and playing what I consider to be the best entry in the series on the Pixel Remaster, Final Fantasy VI, will be my next one. And I don't know if I'm going to play on stream or not. If I do, it'll be very irregular stream times, and it probably won't be in the same format as before. And it won't be part of the schedule, so it'll literally just be like bonus streams where I feel like playing, and I feel like streaming it. It's hard though, because like when I did my new setup when I moved to my condo. That's another big one. I don't have really a comfortable chair to sit in when I'm at my computer. I have a stool or a drum. Well, it's a drum throne, but it's basically a stool. Hello again. It's not the most comfortable to sit and play on for a long time. So like I won't do any like long sessions on it. I think though I started streaming to my TV. But I don't know if there's a way to, like, it would literally have to be, I have to figure something out to make it work. Now I could maybe stream a VR game because that's going to be the same thing I'm doing now. But if I'm going to stream a flat game, what's my largest? That super rare that I caught a little while ago is my current record. It is 246.37 points. That's been my biggest one today. But I very rarely catch super rares, so if you come back next week, I may not beat that. I may not beat that again. We'll see though. I think my overall record, I have to go back to the big board at Spawn to see, but that one still seems to be my super rare boot. So this super rare fish did not beat my super rare boot. Something I was worried about earlier. I caught a rare boot, and I was afraid it would beat my my rare. Was it a trout? I don't even remember now. Oh, was it a carp maybe? And it was almost bigger, but it wasn't. So I was like, okay, good. I don't like my record being a boot. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's just funny, I guess. Well, I mean, I won't argue that, but my roommate will chime in occasionally, so if you hear me talking to nobody, that's who it is. Yeah, just imagine what she's saying. Alright. I love the Atlantic cod. It's a very big fish, and it reminds me of the PlayStation version of Resident Evil and the voice actor for Barry Burton. See that nice thing. Oh my god! It is a cod. And that's why it's funny, you see. But it's nice to come back to fishing. I fished a lot when the spring update happened until I basically got everything. And then I put it down for a while. And now that summertime, there's a whole new set of things and a new gardening mechanic that I've kind of been playing around with. But all of my fishing rod, my little floaties, you know, all this stuff, the little tassel, it's all from the spring event. So I haven't updated anything for summer yet. First thing I want to get though is the new fishing rod. I have no idea what it looks like. I'm curious. You have to grow it from the potted plants. But first you have to buy the seed, and the seed is 35,000 points. I'm sitting at 14,000 right now. So I'm still a ways from getting it. Ah, Pokemon. I very, very briefly gave the trading card game a try back when it first came out. Lots of Pike today. But I haven't really played it in a very long time. I know it's popular though. So popular that when the new decks come out, or the new booster packs come out, like Target has rules about who can buy them, and how many you can buy. Blows my mind, but it is what it is. I actually have a friend of mine from Thailand who uses the same base avatar and goes by Leo. Made a world for roleplay that's based on a city square. And he actually made a Pokemon store and scanned like thousands of cards. So you can go and look at this big gallery of Pokemon trading cards in that world. It's really neat. Yeah, so much effort, so much time. Wow. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's cool that all the high value things that happen for the collectors out there. I do consider myself something of a collector, but that's really not my arena. I like to collect physical games. We have this area to my right here outside of VR that we call Shelf. It's just lots of stuff. And above Shelf is a bunch of limited edition boxes, mostly from my roommate, but I have a few here and there. Oh, another super rare. Wow, what a day. Man, y'all are good luck.
Oh,
Yeah. This is a super rare Trewavas Chitslid. That's wild. And that is my new record. So 252.86 points is my current record. Very nice. You are a good luck charm, Citro. I caught both of my super rares while you were in chat. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep on for about 4 more minutes. And then I'll try to find someone to raid. I'm sure there's someone who's just hanging out in VR chat also. I know if you follow Krishna, and this was yesterday, she just had her stream anniversary. I think it's 5 years? Which is kind of wild. She's gotten pretty big. Good for her. Yeah, she had her stream anniversary yesterday. They were playing, I think they were doing jet ski races, it looked like. There's that race world. There's 2 big jet ski worlds that I know of. There's the one that's the island where you can both explore and race, and then there's that one that's more like Mario Kart style tracks. It's kind of neat that like I gotta say, when I first got in VR, or even when I first discovered that world, like, that used to make me feel so irpy. Like, just sitting on the jet ski and floating on the water. Like, I would get motion sick, and I thought I had my VR legs, but now it's not bothering me so much as it used to. So there's layers. I just call it Mario Kart style, just because, like, it's not an open world where you can go wherever you want. It's literally a track, but it's like a river that's circular. So not the most realistic, but, you know. Do I have Rec Room? I do not. Well, I assume, I mean, it's a free game, isn't it? So I guess I could, in theory, download it and play it, but I haven't. This is a conversation I had recently. I am quite old for a, VR gamer. I turned 40 this year. And there are some games or some spaces that, like, I feel weird occupying because I don't feel like it's a space for me. Like, it's more for the younger crowd, like younger VR fans. And Rec Room is one I put in that category. I've got nothing against, kids who play VR. In fact, I encourage it. I wish, I like to see VR have a large user base, but if it's a primarily kid audience, then I feel weird sharing it. So that's sort of my aversion to Rec Room right now. And my understanding is it's a very similar experience to VR chat, where it's more like user driven. People go in and make things, and then hang out and do them. So not too different. But, obviously I've got nothing against Rec Room. It's just not something that I personally have engaged much with for that reason. But really, VR chat's it. I know there are other social platforms in VR. There's, of course, Horizons. There's, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it. The one where they got, like, the tools for creating VR worlds and avatars within the system. And it's the one that used to be that crypto-based one. But it's moved away from that and rebranded. But I can't remember the name now. I'm trying to think on it. Resonite, yeah, that's it. Thank you. So that's what I heard of. But yeah, VR chat's really it. I did actually play Zenith back in the day. Was a VR MMO. And it's one that I could play on my PSVR 1 for the PS4. Not great, but I could play it and I enjoyed it. But that was another case where... Sure, shoot. Go ahead. This will probably be it though, because we're going to be wrapping up in a second here. Well, I won't cut you off. If you have more questions, we can chat for a bit longer, but we'll probably wrap it up here soon. Ooh, a rare card. Is there a way to play mobile on VR chat? There is. I believe both iOS and Android now are out of beta. Is that right? I haven't done it myself, but I know there's a platform for Android and a platform for iOS, and they're actually not the same platform, which is kind of wild. But depending on which OS is the one that you use, you have a way to download and play VR chat. And it works very similar to the Quest standalone format, where you're limited on which avatars you can use and which worlds you can visit, but it does work. I play on PC VR. Even though I'm on a Quest headset, I connect to my PC, so it basically treats it like a PC headset. In this world, I don't remember if it's cross-compatible. It is. Okay, so even if you're playing on mobile, and that could be Android or Quest, I think iOS too, I'm not entirely sure. You can be here in this world, so if you wanted to join me, that would be possible. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll go ahead and call that a stream. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, hung out for a bit. I'll go ahead and find us someone to raid. to keep this train rolling, the little chill VR chat hangout theme. It could be someone I've never watched before, so kind of bear that in mind. Or it could be a friend. We'll see. But let me actually do that now. Let me see who's live. Anyone I know. Oh, I should save. I keep going to Stream Manager, and it gives me the option to save. But I don't. And then it's like I just come in and redo it over and over. Oh, why don't I just save it? That'd be nice. Oh, hey, Termina's on VR chat. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send y'all to a friend of mine called Termina Heart. He likes to go around and explore VR chat worlds with other groups of people. And he's very vocal. He like takes lots of pictures, and he likes to kind of show off, you know, what they're doing. VCAT is going on right now, so if I were a betting man, I would be putting money down that they are going to be running around VCAT and checking out some of the booths there, some of the creators, avatars, what have you. So that is something to look forward to with him. And he is also a very small content creator, so he will very much pay attention to you like I am. So if that's your cup of tea, I hope you enjoy it. But I'll go ahead and get that raid going. And I hope you too have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your next meal, whatever that happens to be. It's part of my little sign off. I'll say, hope you have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. Enjoy your lunch, your brekkie, your dunch, your brunch, your din, your midnight milk, your snacky snack, whatever's next for you. But above all else, be good. See you next time. Bye. That's my sign off, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. I still got a raid terminal. It was demonstrational. All right, there it is. Okay. Be good. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Have a great Sunday. Bye. Bye-bye.